You're listening to Let's Talk Sports podcast with me, Lucia. NFL, NBA news, and more coming to you right now. Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Let's Talk Sports podcast with me, Lucia. Now, I'm sorry about last week. There was no podcast. A lot of things happened during the week. Just my new job just tired me out completely, and I just couldn't get a podcast episode up. But I'm back this week, and I'm feeling a lot better, feeling a lot less tired and a lot less run down. So let's get into it. So we've got last week's storylines, contenders or pretenders, tank bowl, news for both NBA and NFL, NFL Week 8 and NBA Week 2. So last week's major storylines. What is wrong with the Chiefs? The Chiefs got blown out against the Tennessee Titans 27-3. Their defense is horrible at the moment, and Patrick Mahomes isn't that good at the moment. What happened to Patrick Mahomes? What happened to Patty Mahomes? He was supposed to be the next generationally talented quarterback. At the moment, he is looking like an absolute scrub. Is it because of is it a Super Bowl hangover? Is it a we have played in the past two Super Bowls and we're just mentally not there? Or is it something deeper? Are they flawed fundamentally? And that's what I'm trying to figure out is are they flawed fundamentally, or are they just tired? Now they've got a game against the Giants this week, so it could be a good pick me up game. I'm hoping not. But yeah, I have no idea what's wrong with the Chiefs. Tom Brady threw his 600th touchdown, becoming the first quarterback ever to throw his 600th touchdown. Congratulations, Tom. In my opinion, he's the leader for the MVP. And if he wins it at age 44, nobody will ever beat that again. Nobody will ever beat Tom Brady doing that at 44. Yeah. So yeah, congratulations, Tom, on your 600th touchdown. I am looking forward to seeing where the rest of your season goes. So far, he has thrown 21 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions. Oh my god. That is awesome. The Jets lose embarrassingly 54-13 against New England Patriots. Whoa, okay. This is a new low for the Jets. They also have lost their quarterback, Zach Wilson, who did not look good at all, who literally was getting beat down to the point of no return on a couple of plays. I don't know what's wrong with the Jets. Even when they're doing stuff right, they're doing stuff wrong. It's so hard. I can't understand who would be a Jet fan. I just don't know. If you love your children, do not make them Jet fans. It just is a horrible existence. And talking about a team that was in a horrible existence, but now has found the good quarterback and actually drafted around him, we've got the Cincinnati Bengals, who are now number 1 in the AFC. Number 1. They went from 2 years ago picking number 1 in the draft, picking Joe Burrow, to being number 1 in the AFC 2 years later. Joe Burrow is the truth. He is awesome. That draft class of having Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert they're going to be the two great quarterbacks in the years to come, because Justin Herbert's changing around a Chargers organization, and Joe Burrow has literally changed the Bengals organization. And that's what good drafting and a good quarterback does. So, now let's go into a little bit of NBA storylines, and I'll go back to some NFL storylines. Kyrie Irving had protesters outside the Barclays Center, protesting whether or not he should be able to play. I'm not going to get too deep into this because I have my own beliefs, and I don't think you guys want to hear my political beliefs and my beliefs about the vaccine and mandates and all that. I just don't think you would want that. But yeah, it was actually, there was an image of a guy wearing a MAGA hat standing next to somebody wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt, and that just spoke volumes to me. Nobody wants this mandate, and whoever does, Kyrie hasn't come out and commented, so yeah, I am going to leave it at that. Ben Simmons' trade watch continues. He apparently has been suffering from mental health and back spasms, which I can agree with. The Philly media has been horrible to him. I think that he needs to go somewhere like Sacramento, somewhere where the media is not 100% focused on the team, where he can go rehab his image and then get traded to a good team. I think that's what needs to happen. So let's go back to some NFL storylines. I might have mushed the Browns. I'm sorry, Browns fans, but I might have done that. Yeah, I no longer think they're going to the Super Bowl. With Baker Mayfield out and Case Keenum starting, I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, Brown fans. I'm so sorry. Derrick Henry, is he an MVP candidate? And I say absolutely, he is definitely an MVP candidate. I don't know who would say that he isn't. Now let's move on to contenders or pretenders. So contenders are the people that I think are going to the playoffs, and pretenders are the ones that I think are riding high and are going to crash down. So we've got the Cincinnati Bengals. I think that they're absolutely contenders. I'm not going to make any more predictions about Super Bowl, but I think they're absolutely contenders, and I think they're going to go to the playoffs. We've got the Arizona Cardinals, the only undefeated team left. This one keeps on changing for me. I go from they're going to the playoffs to not going to the playoffs to going to the playoffs to not going to the playoffs. I still don't see them going to the playoffs. I don't know why. I just don't believe in Arizona as much as other people do. So yeah, there's literally no other, there's no other reason for me not to believe that they're not going to go to the Super Bowl, except for my own personal belief in them. So yeah, got the Bucks. They're definitely going to the Super Bowl. They're definitely going to the playoffs. They're going to be the Super Bowl champions. We've got the Chargers, who are definitely contenders as well. Now, Tank Bowl. Let's see who's still in the Tank Bowl. We've got the Jets, the Jags, the Texans, and the Lions. They're all still in it. I'll keep you updated with the Tank Bowl. And where it's all going. So now some news for both NFL and NBA. So in the NFL, the owners have met for the first time in person since 2019. There were some things that were discussed, and they were Deshaun Watson. He will not be put on the commissioner's list. So a trade to Miami is heating up. I think from the last of the reportings, there's a trade in place. They're just waiting for signage. They've agreed in principle, so Deshaun Watson will be a Miami Dolphin in the next couple of days. NFL owners want a large-scale investigation into the Washington football team and those emails, and they also want the findings to become public, and I agree with that. They are looking to expand the Rooney Rule so that more minorities can get hired into roles, which I think is incredible, and I think that will be putting different voices and different minds together is always a good idea. And there was many more things that were discussed, and that I will fill you guys in more on after day 2. Can I just say that the Raiders owner came in like full Raiders gear to the owners meeting, and I'm like, that's semi-embarrassing. Like, Mark Davis, you don't show up in Raiders gear to the owners meeting. You don't. The Eagles have traded quarterback Joe Flacco to the Jets for a 6th-round pick that could become a 5 depending on playing time. New York Giants, Javril Peppers is out for the rest of the season, and it could possibly be the end of his career. As a Giants fan, he's an amazing leader in the locker room, and this is a huge loss. He hasn't played well, but his energy and his enthusiasm towards the Giants is incredible, and he will be a major loss to the New York Giants and for the rest of their season. The NFL Combine is to remain in Indy in 2022, and then it's going to Dallas next year, and then LA, and then after that it will be bid on like the Super Bowl is. NBA news, Carmelo Anthony moves to number 9 on the all-time scorers list, passing Moses Malone. Congratulations, Carmelo. Looking forward to seeing you more in the Lakers games. You've been playing so well. I'm proud of you. I can't wait to get your jersey. Like, it's actually ordered. Like, I'm getting a Carmelo 7 Lakers jersey. It's the only current Laker that I actually want to get the jersey of is Carmelo. Which is weird. It's funny. I love Carmelo on a level that a lot of people don't understand. I was, back in the day, making arguments that he was better than LeBron. I would also make arguments that D Wade was better than LeBron. I just think if Carmelo had the teams that LeBron had around him, we'd be talking about Carmelo being the greatest of all time, not LeBron. Carmelo is awesome, and I'm so glad that he's finally getting a chance to play with LeBron on a team in the Lakers, who I love with every little bit of my soul, even though we're struggling at the moment. But it's literally the second week of the season, so I'm not really going to care until we get into like January. That's when I start caring about our record going forward is in January. And a lot of people hate me for it because I'm a Laker fan, but that's really the point. Like, I wait till football season's over, and then I worry about the Lakers' record and worry about what the Lakers are doing, because that's literally when I should start to get worried and all that. The NBA 75th list has been announced. Some notable absentees were Dwight Howard was not on the list. And he was upset about that. So was Klay Thompson. And it's weird because you've only got 75 of them. There was only 25 new players because they weren't going to take the 50 off. They weren't going to take people off the 50 list. They were just going to add 25 more. So you only had 25 more players to choose from. So yeah, that's something that is a talking point. Some names that were added were LeBron, Kobe, Carmelo, D Wade, and Reggie Miller. And if you saw Reggie Miller's reaction to getting announced on the team, it was awesome. The Knicks have continued to do what they did last season, and that's win. I am so impressed with the Knicks. They could be a dark horse. They could be a dark horse team. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing how the Knicks go. In all honesty, they're like my East team. I love the Knicks. I like the Knicks. I don't love them as much, but they're my East team. If I was going to have one. So yeah, LeVar Ball was right about his Suns. They have the Bulls off to an undefeated start, and they've got the Hornets off to an undefeated start. So LeVar Ball was right. He may be a creepy old man, but he was definitely right about his Suns. They were so good. They're so good. I think in the right situation, I think for Lonzo, it was not the right situation to be in LA, and I think that's truly the case. Is he just wanted? I reckon now that he's in Chicago, he's going to just thrive. Joe Ingles, the Australian, one of my favorite basketball players, has reached 1,000 3-pointers made, which I'm very proud of him, and congratulations. The new James Harden rule has plummeted his free throw attempts. So yeah, he has struggled. He has struggled with the new rule, with the new landing spot rule. So yeah, now let's get into NFL Week 8 predictions. We've got the Cardinals versus the Packers. I'm going with the Packers. I think that the Cardinals are due to lose, and I think the Packers will win this. We've got the Falcons versus the Panthers. Now this is a divisional game, but I'm going with the Panthers because I cannot trust the Falcons. We've got the Colts versus the Titans. I'm actually going to go with the Colts. They had an impressive win against the 49ers, and I think that they're going to start to bring it together. We've got the Bills versus Dolphins. I'm going with the Bills. We've got the Jets versus the Bengals. I'm going with the Bengals because why the hell would you bet on the Jets? We've got the Browns versus Steelers. I'm going with the Browns. We've got the Lions versus the Eagles. I'm going with the Lions. The Lions are due to win. They're due to win. We've got the Texans versus the Rams. I'm going with the Rams. We've got the Bears versus the 49ers. I'm going with the 49ers. We've got the Chargers versus the Pats. I'm going with the Chargers. We've got the Seahawks versus the Jags. I might go with the Jags. The Seahawks don't look good without Russ. And it's actually proving how much Russ is a key factor in the Seahawks. We've got the Saints versus the Bucks. I'm going with the Bucks. We have the Broncos versus the Washington football team. I'm going with the Broncos. We have the Vikings versus the Cowboys. I'm going with the Cowboys. I'm actually wanting the Cowboys to win from now on. Like, beat all the NFC opponents. We've got the Chiefs versus the Giants. Now, look, I would love to choose the Giants, but I'm going with my head and not my heart, and I'm going with the Chiefs. NBA Week 2 preview. So I've got 3 games that you should all look out for in terms of watching. We've got the Hawks versus the Sixers. This is a rematch from the semis, from the Eastern Conference semis. I just was thinking, when did they play each other? Like the semis. And yeah, looking forward to watching it. Looking forward to Trae Young going off. We've got the Jazz versus the Bucks. The Utah Jazz has come on fire, and I'm looking forward to seeing them this year, and maybe they can get over the hump this year. And the Bucks have been awesome. We've got the Heat versus the Mavericks. The Heat have been awesome, and the Mavericks, look, I love watching Luka play. So yeah, that is all for this week's episode of Let's Talk Sports Podcast. So I'll catch you all next week. Bye.